part two of the Temple of Baal to be erected in New York on Times Square, April the 19th. Let's recap the first video for a moment. These temples, the Digital Institute of Archaeology, the responsible institutional organization for doing this erection, is saying that this is their response to ISIS destroying the original temple in Baal, Syria in August of 2015. So as a result of the destruction of one temple that is approximately 2,000 or was approximately 2,000 years old, we now are going to get roughly 1,000 of said temples throughout the world in all of the major cities. The first two being in Times Square, New York City, 1 mile from the UN, moments away from the Statue of Liberty, moments away from Babylon, New York, and the Fire Island Lighthouse. Fire Island being recognized as America's first and foremost gay resort community. It has been likened to, in modern day, Sodom and Gomorrah. All of these, Times Square, Madison Square, the UN, the Statue of Liberty, Babylon, New York, and the lighthouse that is a seafaring indicator of it, that once contained the language or the words "Welcome to Babylon," all setting within what appears to be a geographical depiction of the headdress worn by Baal / Moloch / Baphomet in some of the pictures that you will see. But continuing on with recap. Notice the headdress. See the headdress? And how it depicts that geographical location that we looked at earlier. See the headdress? Let's go back one more time. Again, see the headdress? This is Madonna performing at a concert. I believe that was happening or did happen in September, the week of or the week before the Pope was to arrive to address the full Congress and the UN. But here she is again, that Fire Island geographical headset representation of the headdress that Moloch / Baal / Chemosh / Marduk and some of the other 45 to 50 other names that this entity goes by. But see how she's representing there. See how see how that headdress represents that geographical location, just like it does. So it's no accident at all that this geographical location was selected for the establishment of all these archetype structures the UN, the lighthouse, Babylon, New York, Northern Babylon, the UN, Times Square, where the first temple is to be erected, the Statue of Liberty, the woman that sits on many waters, that's depicted, I believe, in Revelation 17 and 18. The Babylon depicted, or Mystery Babylon being revealed or being destroyed in 17 and 18 of Revelation as seafaring ships or witnessing the destruction that's depicted in the reading of 17 and 18 of Babylon, of Mystery Babylon. But Mystery Babylon is a mystery because up until now it has not been revealed. But I believe that what we're witnessing now is the revealing of Mystery Babylon. And one more piece to the mystery puzzle is the erection of this temple. It's probably not very important to most non-religious folks, Americans alike, but to those who consider themselves religious and or spiritual, the significance of Baal temples or Baal temples going up throughout the world is of concern because of the ritual and the ceremony that surrounds the honoring and the worshiping of Baal himself. That being child sacrifice and bisexual orgies, men with men, women with women, both openly and inviting to the public to participate as well. These were some very, what some would call perverted ceremonies and rituals. But these were the things that were called for in order to honor and to worship Baal. These were the rituals and the sacrifices that were demanded of one. In continuation of part one recap, in the ancient world, the names Baal and Baal were often interchangeable, and they both trace back to ancient Babylonian god Marduk. But I believe that they go back even further than that, because Baal, Baal, Marduk, Chemosh, Molech are all really just manifestations of one entity. That entity that we now know as Satan, or as the book of Isaiah calls him, Lucifer. So these are just manifestations of that one energy that has existed, that one energy, that one spirit that has existed before mankind himself, manifesting itself as Baal, Baal, Molech, Chemosh, Baphomet, so on and so forth. There are at least 50 names associated with the entity that we know as Lucifer or Satan. For a brief moment, I'll try to give you some insight as to how all this became associated with Nimrod, the man of Genesis 10 and 9 fame. Nimrod being the first man to embody what we now know as the Antichrist spirit, or the representation of the man of sin. And how all this came to be associated with Nimrod is Nimrod became the embodiment of, or the avatar to Satan, aka Lucifer / Molech / Baal / Baal / Marduk. And so Nimrod came to embody the idea, the quality, the character of Lucifer himself. And in order to conceptualize what I'm saying, there's a couple of words that you need to have a knowledge or understanding of, and one being an avatar, or which is a Hindu word. But an avatar is the human or animal form of a Hindu god on earth, or coming to earth in a bodily form. And see, Lucifer took up residence in Nimrod, and Nimrod came to embody the quality, the idea, the spirit, the energy that Lucifer is. And he became an avatar of or to Lucifer. Any of you that have seen the movie The Avatar, then you know that Jake Sully's body became the home of Turo Maktu, his spirit, his energy, the qualities that live on after the body ceases to be. See, after the body ceased to be, then the spirit, the qualities, the energy, the idea can embody into another human being. In the Christian world, we call this incarnation, or to be incarnated. That's the second word. And to be incarnated means to be endowed with a human body, or to personify, or to be the type of embodiment of, to be made manifest or comprehensible. To incarnate is to embody or represent a deity or a spirit in human form. The Bible verse, John 14:23, the idea that God incarnates himself into a man. To incarnate is when a person becomes the living embodiment of a quality, an idea, spirit, or an energy. So Nimrod embodied what Lucifer is, or what he represents. And so Nimrod became Lucifer's representative here on earth, aka the Antichrist. So when Nimrod, the man, ceased to exist, the spirit or the embodiment of the quality, the idea of Lucifer itself lived on. And so it still has the capacity to embody into or become a part of another man, aka the Antichrist being resurrected once again. And according to some traditions, the original Freemason was Nimrod. He actually is given credit for creating the first New World Order in the post-flood world. And virtually all of the major gods of ancient Babylon, Greece, and Rome ultimately trace back to him, or traditions surrounding him. So here is where we will begin part 2 of erecting the Temple of Baal in Times Square, New York City. And it must be noted that Wikipedia, according to Wikipedia, the name of the city of Babylon is believed to have originally come from an Akkadian word that meant gate of God, or gateway of the God. So now we are setting up a gateway or a portal in a geographical area that could be welcoming in the chief god of ancient Babylon in the heart of our most important city, April the 19th, the day of the blood sacrifice to the beast. I know it sounds surreal that an arch from the Temple of Baal, nearly 5 stories high, is going to be erected in Times Square, April the 19th, the day of the beginning festival, the blood sacrifice to the beast, commencing May the 1st. 13 days a 13-day period called the blood sacrifice to the beast, April 19th being the opening day and the same day that this temple will be erected.
Now we will pick up part 3 with the innovations of Hammurabi, the lawgiver, and his depiction or his role as a Moses-like figure in the worship of Baal. In part 3, we will look at how, just like Yahweh gave Moses, the great I Am gave Moses the law, it is also depicted in and told in the Babylonian tradition of the worship of Baal, that Baal gave Hammurabi, the lawgiver, as the picture depicts. He gave Hammurabi the law, just as Jehovah God gave Moses the law. And just as significant as Moses was to the Hebrew, so was Hammurabi to the Babylonian religion that became known as Baal or Baal worship. So part 3, we will look a little more in depth at the role of Hammurabi, the Amorite first dynasty king of the city-state Babylon.